Now we're joined by the head coach of the New York Giants, Joe Judge. And Coach, obviously one of the things that Denver is going to want to do is run the football. And early in the game, you made sure you got that under control.
A key focus on playing a team like this is stopping the run. The focus is to go ahead, stop the run, take away the run action passes, make it more one-dimensional. Obviously, look, they did a terrific job yesterday with Teddy moving the ball, extending drives, and doing a lot of things to the drop-back game and extended plays on his own. But the focus of stopping the run is still a key part of it right there and trying to make it one-dimensional. So we start right here just kind of explaining in terms of how we want to watch our run game on tape. And, really when you go to the back view, you can see all the pictures together. But the first thing we want to talk to our guys, especially up from the defensive lineman, is when we watch the run game, we really want to watch it from the side. And we're looking for right there is who controls the line of scrimmage. It's a good shot right here. You can see on the 20-yard line. So it's a great teaching example. It's clearly who's on either side of the 20. And what we're looking for right here is when we come on out of it is who's striking who's coming out of their hips, and who's displacing. So on first action right there, you watch our defensive line. You watch Leo and Dex, right there. You watch AJ in there making a play. You see all the hands going and shooting. And you can see right now, they've immediately changed that line of scrimmage right there and displaced it back to the 18 and eventually the 17-yard line. So when we start teaching our run defense right there, the first thing we're looking at is who's winning that first step, who's getting hands inside, who's striking, who's playing the right fundamentals. And we're talking about two types of leverage. One, positional leverage, as we're talking about right here, with Leo on the outside of being outside to set the edge. Zoe right here to set the edge. And then we're talking about physical leverage inside, which you watch AJ, and you're talking about eyes under eyes with the pad level. So we're playing low to high. The low man always wins. Hands inside, we want to strike and control it. All right, so we watch from the back, and we're going to watch the focus on building the wall and setting the edge we talk about all the time. As we look through this right here, we're really talking about building the wall inside. We're looking to really play flat on the line of scrimmage. You see a lot of defense that penetrate and they go forward right there, looking to go ahead and disrupt and look for the kind of swing for home run type tackles in the backfield. Our philosophy here is a lot more of just saying, we're going to play that wall right there. We're going to set the edge right here. And instead of defending 53 1/3 yards across the board, we're going to play the run force and narrow it down to about 12 yards side to side, make it a much smaller surface for these guys to play. So our leverage inside to build the wall, leverage on the edge to make sure we contain that play is really key. And it's a good example right here watching. All right, we're going to start going right to left right here. And when the ball turns over, there's our firm edge right there with Leo. You look on the backside as the blocking goes away and the flasher's coming across. Zoe's still staying right there, and they're still keeping that edge set on the defense. You look inside, talking about that wall, and you see that control right there with Austin of looking through the blocker right there, and they see the ball. You see Big Dex right here taking through the double team to keep these gaps occupied. And then the rest of the wall is Blake and Tay, who are going to come downhill and trigger when they diagnose that's absolutely a run. So you watch right here from one, the double team's working up the field, the obvious run blocking right there, seeing the mesh point coming out right there with Blake right here, and he's filling right there, and there's our wall of bodies right there. We got the edge set right there, and there's nowhere really to go vertically on it. So as it bends back, even if Blake doesn't make this play, you got Zoe, you got Logan coming to run force, and you got Tay, all three unblocked men right there, and you got the wall right here with Dex and with AJ, making sure there's nowhere to go. So that's just a good illustration right here for us of how we want to go ahead and play.
Coach, if you hold it right there, the other part of that, when you talk about building the walls, but look where the eyes are. Everybody's got their eyes exactly where it should be, and that's the end part of that, doing your responsibility, but also having eye discipline to know exactly where you should be.
100%. We talk to our guys all the time about fundamentals. The first thing it always starts out with, obviously, assignment, alignment, and then key, and key comes into the eye control. We talk about all the time. Play with clean eyes. It's going to take it exactly where you need to be. So as you point out right there, obviously, we're playing for the boot. So Zoe's got to see Bridgewater here. Obviously, when he knows it's a handoff, he can play flatter down the line right there. But until he ensures that that hand's free of the ball, he's playing really that high shoulder to see if it comes back around. He's going to climb and shut that off before the pass really develops.
Coach, you're going to take us through the touchdown pass to Sterling Shepard, who had a fantastic game for you on Sunday.
Yeah, so the focus on this play right here is really details, and it's details across the board. Every good play starts with good fundamentals. So we're going to talk first on the side view and really looking at the protection up front. And it all starts with just giving the quarterback room to operate in the pocket. And we want to be as firm and flat as we can up front. We want to keep as much width on the pocket as we can with the tackles. And what you're going to see in here a lot is when you play teams with really elite rushers, like the Broncos have on the edge, a lot of times you got to do things in different down distance situations to really help. So you have different words for them, chip, jam, hammer, whatever you want to call it, but you're looking to go ahead and use players in condensed formations or maybe a backfield set to really go ahead and help out your players right there at the tackle position. Now, what we're working on right here is staying inside out with our tackles and making sure they're not giving up the inside move, which you guys kill a lot of teams on right there. It's the fastest way the quarterback is beating the guy inside. Want to make sure you keep him outside. So the coaching point emphasis for the tackle is stay inside out. Always take away the inside half. If he's got to beat you, it's got to be the long way around where the quarterback can step up, get the ball out, and he's protected with the depth of the pocket right there, which is why it's so important to be flat and firm up front with the guards and the center to give them room to step up in the pocket. A lot of times you see guys on tape, and they'll say, hey, the tackle must have given up a play because he ran around about 9 yards deep. The reality is the quarterback can't step up. That sack may be on the quarterback standing back deep, maybe on something inside that happened, but the tackle, if he's keeping his guy wide and outside that apex, it's really not his responsibility at that point right there. So again, the details of what happens right here. So we'll watch it from the side right here in terms of details of the protection, being flat and firm and giving Daniel room to step up right here. You see the separation right there. He's got plenty of room in the pocket, and as the routes go ahead and form, he can step up and into it, and he's got room to navigate in the pocket. And you see when he's throwing that ball, he's got plenty of separation right there. He doesn't have bodies at his heels. He can step in that ball right there and make a good, clean throw. Now, that's the details on the protection, okay? And we're going to watch this play just kind of on through, and it's a nice play right here. Obviously, Shep finished with a touchdown. We want to go ahead and hit him on the back end now, the details that go into allow that to really happen. So if you flash forward, all right, back to what we talked about a second ago, all right, and really working these chips on the edge, this is the details of what we talk about. When we talk to our running backs about chips to help the tackle is going to go ahead and take away the inside leg and make it go outside. At that point, he's got to have trust that this running back can take off the outside half of this defender and force him back into his body so he can be patient inside out. He doesn't want to jet out and be threatened by speed up the field. He wants to protect it more inside out, but they've got to work together with a level of trust. Now, how do we tell our guy whether or not it's a good chip? Real simple. His feet have to leave the ground. We chip to help a tackle. If the defender's feet leave the ground, you know it's effective. You just run on by and touch him like freeze tag, you're not doing your job right here. So the details and the execution, we'll go with the book right here, all right, of how Devontae does it, is he comes around, and this is going to be just great technique of going near leg, same shoulder where all your power is, stepping into contact, hitting the outside half right there. You see Andrew playing inside half right there of the end. All right, they're working together in unison, and you just see how it comes together right here with a really nice chip of leaving his feet, and that buys time right there. Now Daniel can navigate the pocket, step up and throw the ball downfield right there to Shep. Now you watch on the other side, all right, Caden's going to be involved in the chip on the other side, and he's going to help Nate right here with the same principle. Now he's not coming off, so he's not working up to the outside hip. He's working outside. You want to work more vertically straight down. And again, you're denying that easy access path around the edge where really can build up their speed right there. It's a nice job right here of Caden, all right, getting contact on the man, and again, alters his course. You can see Will right here looking through the defender, seeing that if he gets chipped, will he run that stunt inside with there's natural momentum going right there. Will notices right here, he stays outside. You see Nate help Will, then come back off. So that chip right there really helped 3 blocks at the same time. You see both sides, now the edge is secured. All right, we're good inside. We get some inside movement. Daniel can move outside, navigate the pocket, and that's just from the room being given. And then the other details in going down the field, nice pass, nice catch by Shep, securing it, and now getting upfield, working to stay inbounds, make sure they secure a tackle. They miss on the tackle here, but really where the touchdown comes from after that is, as he presses down the field, now it's him and a defender. So he can do one of two things. He can go ahead and take a beeline for that pylon, and he is an established angle that he can run at and force him out of bounds. Or he can work open field running technique. Now what we got to teach our guys is this sideline's never missed a tackle. Anytime you touch that white, you're down. All right, so we want to make sure we save as much room away from the white to cut back into it without stepping out of bounds right here. Now, as the defender enters from the field, trying to use a sideline as his teammate, so it's a vice tackle 2-on-1, we've got to make sure we take on one at a time. So Shep's going to do a good job, we call our skinny up technique, meaning he's going to press at the leverage of the defender, meaning where he's coming from and the angle he has to defend. Now, right here, the defender can't just run out of control and go by our runner. It's kind of like the bull in the Matador, right? The bull's run out of control at 100 miles an hour. Matador just moves that red cape, steps out of the way, and he's untouched. He's got to make sure that he's in control, and he defends his leverage right here. So Shep's going to press at him right here, and by just doing that little bit right there, let me run on back. By just doing that little bit right there of pushing at him, that makes him settle his feet, creates more room to cut away, and then there's the finish right there. Now we got to get that ball high and tight. That's not going to be acceptable because it's not about who you can see. It's about who you can't see coming from behind you to jar that out. What Shep does do a nice job of right here is he goes 2 hands on the ball, gets behind his pads. You see how close it is as far as finishing the play right here at the goal line, and with ball control right there, he can go ahead and carry it across the goal line with his pads. But if he just took a straight beeline right there to the end zone, he's probably going to get hawked and knocked out of bounds, probably somewhere around that 1 or 2 yard line. All right, but by doing this right here, Shep does a good job taking some of our drills we work in practice every day, creating space, and carrying that over right there for a touchdown.
Now it's time to take a look at a play that Logan Ryan makes to keep points off the board. Denver's driving, they're threatening, and this is hustle and proper technique, isn't it?
Well, this will be a teaching clip of ours for a long time. And the thing we're always preaching to our defense are two things. Number one, you don't decide when or where you take the field, you decide how you play. And number two, in any situation, make them snap it again. So you see them down here getting in a low red area, so we can classify the red area 20-yard line in, 20 down to the 10 is the high red area, 10 inside is the low red area, and that makes a difference on how offense you're going to call plays and difference how you're going to call defense. So we're looking right here, right on that edge, that low red area right here, and this is just a tremendous play of Logan, finishing the play all the way through to secure the tackle, but he really attacks the ball right here. And again, this is a drill we work every day in practice. And see, you get carried up from the early practice warm-up circuit to our competitive tackling periods, all right, into right here, shows up on the game field. It's just a great teaching clip that we have. And it's a guy, Logan's a vet, makes a lot of right decisions for us. I've made a lot of plays in his career, but it just shows all the details which gets you to that point in your career to be able to call yourself that long-term vet. So you see him right here in the match coverage, all right, and he's going to go ahead and match up right here out in the flat. So now at this point right here, getting carried out, he's thinking, all right, there's where the sticks are right there. You just draw that line across the field in the 3-yard line. He's got to stop him before he gets to the sticks at a good tackling angle. Now, he's already a little bit outflanked, so his pursuit angle's got to be across. And we're looking to get the hat across for the tackling point and keep our body between him and the goal line, or especially him and the sticks in this issue right here. Now, Logan does a good job here in pursuit. He finds himself right here in a position where he can go ahead and cross and get his hat across and get the man down. But what he noticed was that there was loose ball security right there as he was trying to secure it. And as you see as Logan comes in right here, he gives that good, sharp overhand punch on top of the ball. When you break down turnovers in the National Football League the last 5 years, that's the number one technique used to draw that ball loose. You're either looking to go ahead near hand, overhand punch, or in pursuit, draw a thing with an uppercut from behind if the elbow is loose. But Logan does a great job really tying his eyes into the technique of switching it from going to get the tackle to going to punch the ball out while he secures the tackle, because right there when he saw the ball is loose and the receiver's holding that thing flat across his body, he didn't have the support he needed to control it. You see him winding up right here with the punch. You see him focused on the ball right there. His eyes are on the target the entire time. He's got the angle to go ahead and make sure he can secure the tackle with the off arm and his body going across. But you see on the contact right here, the punch coming out, and then right here, we had a better shot from the back end. You see as the ball comes out, Logan gets it, has awareness. He's just inside that white to make sure he secures the turnover. But that's just a good job right there of jarring it out, challenging a runner, and playing every play all the way through right there. Now, from the back end right here, and again, we'll watch Logan all the way through. Again, ball's coming out. There's his man in the match right there. And again, he's got to make sure he gets there before he gets to the first down sticks. Now, great shot right here. And right there is when Logan's identifying that ball's being held loose. So his focus goes from tackling, getting across to secure the tackle and attack the ball. And again, right there you see just a very smooth, all right, flow with the punch down on the ball. And you can barely see it, but you got to look real carefully of how that ball comes out. And that's just great awareness right here of Logan knowing he felt the ball come loose. So he instinctively starts looking as he's going to the ground to find that ball. He feels it right there next to his hip on the ground. And then he gets it just before he goes out of bounds. But he ends up securing that thing, and obviously on replay they confirmed it and got it going the other way. So, you know, look, in terms of effort plays, in terms of detailed plays, in terms of the mentality we want to play with, that's a great example by a team captain showing all the younger players on the team, this is how we got to play every game.
Yeah, and Coach, it does a huge job of teaching everybody, because I've worked for the same guys you've worked for, right? And the little things you practice, and, you know, some guys don't take it as serious. But when you see it in actual action, and you know, our old boss said, I'm telling you, it works. Just do it, it works, right? And it works. And not only did it work, but the awareness to finish it and get a turnover gives everybody in that locker room, in that group, the energy and the hope that, hey, I'm going to get the same type of thing because I know what they're teaching works.
Absolutely. And really later in the game as well, another one we almost got that they ruled that it was actually down before I get it, but it was Logan again coming in pursuit, punching the ball out. Pep came over, scooped it up, so I turned and get it. But you see the guys working the technique, and as you said, you're not just working, you're not just practicing to be practicing, you're not just checking boxes. It's going to show up in the game. It's important to us. We're always showing them visual evidence of this is why we're working it. It's past tape of our team, past tape of other teams. And then as it happens in the league throughout the weeks, we'll pull random clips and say, hey, by the way, here's the drill we work today in practice. Here it is on the field. Maybe two completely random teams we're not even going to play.
Sure.
But you want to see it in game action so the players understand we're working this for a purpose. It's going to show up. And when it does show up, we'll be prepared.
Coach, best of luck this week.
Thank you.